Alright guys, if you've seen the fight, you know what I'm talking about. Yordenis Ugas defeats Manny Pacquiao again. Yordenis Ugas defeats Manny Pacquiao 12 rounds, unanimous decision, 115, 113, I think 116, 112. I can't remember the last card, but it might have been 116, 112 as well. That was a fantastic performance by Yordenis Ugas. Manny Pacquiao had zero purchase whatsoever against this man. Eddie Hearn came out talking about Ugas is going to win. People thought this can't happen, because obviously we're looking to Pacquiao versus Errol Spence. Based off this performance, I think Errol Spence would have probably put on the masterclass. Then again, Pacquiao was training for Errol Spence. But what say you? What do you guys think about the fight? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop your comments in the comment section below. This was a fantastic performance by Yordenis Ugas. From the very first round, he was imposing his jab. He was countering Manny Pacquiao with his jab. Pacquiao just couldn't get the clockworks moving to let his hands go. And it seems like Father Time has actually caught up with Manny Pacquiao now, because it just nothing really worked, man. He couldn't get the angles going. He couldn't get the shots off. He needed to get the shots off in number. He couldn't do it. Yordenis Ugas was constant. He was landing those looping right hands. Manny Pacquiao shots pretty much from start to finish. Most of them were hitting, the gloves of Yordenis Ugas. Only, I think it was later on I think was it around round 10, possibly, or round 10, I think. Around 9, something around, I think around 10 plus. I think he landed a eye-catching right hand Manny Pacquiao on Yordenis Ugas. But pretty much that's the only thing I can remember Manny Pacquiao did of any real purchase. Yordenis Ugas from round 1, round 2, round 3, pretty much from start to finish, it was the same story. There was no real change in narrative in the fight. It was just, it went the way it started, it's the way it finished. Yordenis Ugas countering with the jab, popping the jab, doubling up the jab, landing power shots, and even visibly the power shots that he was landing on Manny Pacquiao, even though if they didn't land on the chin, you could see the weight behind them. And Yordenis looked massive, man. It was like night and day. The size of the guy, the weight that when he rehydrated, he put back on, it was ridiculous. Just look at this. Look at the size difference in these men. A 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao taking on 35-year-old Yordenis Ugas. Look at the size of the guy. What the hell? That is nuts. So, a lot of people, even if Manny Pacquiao does go on to say, he wants to, because they would have already signed a deal to maybe fight Errol Spence. A lot of people it kind of took the shine off the Errol Spence fight, if it even does ever happen. The shine has come off that fight, because everyone's now is going to be looking to think that Errol Spence will go in there and beat Manny Pacquiao. I don't know. Obviously, it was a late substitute, and Yordenis Ugas came in quite late because of obviously Errol Spence's injury, eye injury. So, Manny Pacquiao hasn't really been able to focus and plan to fight Manny Pacquiao hasn't been able to focus and plan to fight Yordenis Ugas. But then again, Yordenis Ugas called on short notice to fight Manny Pacquiao. Didn't have enough time to plan to fight Manny Pacquiao either. But Ismail Salas was able to come up with a game plan that was quite successful, using the jab, landing looping power shots, tying up Manny Pacquiao where possible to stop him from opening up the flurries. Frustrated Manny Pacquiao. He looked despondent he looked so despondent when he's in the corner at the end of the round. It's like he's thinking in his mind like, bruh, man, I can't really wind the clock back. I don't know if am I gonna beat this guy? He's hoping to land something of any real purchase to get himself back in the game, but the guy, and he just couldn't, and he was wary of what was coming back in return from Ugas, because obviously I could tell that he was feeling the heavy shots on the arms and stuff like that. Even if the shots don't land from Ugas, you can still feel the weight of that landing on your arms, and you don't really want that to land on your chin, to be honest. So it's unfortunate, I said in my previous videos before, I didn't want Manny Pacquiao, if he was to lose to Yordenis Ugas. If he's gonna lose, let him lose to somebody of more high profile, like a changing of the guard, like Errol Spence or even Terence Crawford, one of these better names, but specifically Errol Spence because he's the main guy, in my opinion, the best welterweight right now in the world. So, it would have been better for him if he's going to lose to an Errol Spence than to lose to a Ugas who's not really high profile. A lot of people who are casuals who don't know about Ugas, Cuban fighter Ugas, they're going to be like, oh, Manny Pacquiao's washed. He's lost to, Yordenis Ugas, a guy we've never really heard of. Compared to if he lost to Errol Spence in a fight, that he was really prepping for and at his age, probably training for, a southpaw in Errol Spence, and all of a sudden he's facing a guy who's massive, orthodox fighter, who's probably, this is, and coming, with a lot of energy because this is his opportunity, fighting Manny Pacquiao, big payday, opportunity to put himself in the lights. And Yordenis Ugas came in with the game plan, didn't get too excited to try and go for any stoppages or anything like that. Stuck to the game plan, came there, executed the game plan, and got the job done. What's it, you guys? What did you guys think about the fight? Are you surprised by the performance of Yordenis Ugas? Were you, a lot of people are thinking, Pacquiao come in here and win and go and fight Errol Spence. Some people did think that, don't sleep on Yordenis Ugas, that he could actually come in here and actually beat Manny Pacquiao. And that is what he was able to do. Where does Manny Pacquiao go from here? Is he going to retire? Is he going to go for maybe a rematch with Yordenis Ugas? I don't know. I don't know if I agree. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm just coming off the fight. I'm not sure. I need to think about that one. But should he go for a rematch with Yordenis Ugas? It would be very disappointing if he goes ahead and then he doesn't win, because I can't really see what this version of Manny Pacquiao at this age of 42 can do to beat Yordenis Ugas. It was just imposing, and he just couldn't really get anything unless he lands a shot, and he did land quite a good shot, and nothing really happened. And so he should, Manny Pacquiao is still going to fight Errol Spence. I don't know, how Errol Spence is going to be like coming back from that injury that he's got. I know everything that's going on with Errol Spence. So is Errol Spence still the same Errol Spence? But if we have the Errol Spence that fought Danny Garcia fight Manny Pacquiao, it's definitely going to be a unanimous decision, or it could possibly be a stoppage, because Errol Spence definitely carries a lot of power, very explosive, very quick, and a lot quicker than Yordenis Ugas. So it's very tough, man. Manny Pacquiao, this is why sometimes a lot of people would rather retire with respect and dignity, without losing to some of these younger fighters and stuff like that. Especially when you fought guys like Mayweather, you're in the era of Mayweather, and beating guys like Oscar De La Hoya, and and having like good names. You've been in the ring with some top champions and a lot of elite fighters, until you come into fight here at age of 42 and lose to Yordenis Ugas. It's not something a lot of fans are going to be very disappointed to see Manny Pacquiao losing like that to Ugas. So do you think man, especially, and another thing to mention, like, the Manny Pacquiao out of the ring for 2 years. You can't be 42 years of age, man, and not be in the ring for 2 years. It's too long. You're gonna get rusty. Fighters that are younger get rusty not being in the ring very long. You haven't been fighting much at all, and then you get in the ring against Yordenis Ugas, the WBA on a world title fight with Yordenis Ugas, and you haven't fought in 2 years, and then you have a guy come in as a replacement for the guy you're actually meant to fight, and you're 42 years of age, not as quick and sharp as you was. That looks like a recipe for disaster, but it is what it is. Hats off to Yordenis Ugas. Fantastic victory, solid victory. This guy, probably going to be all over the news in Cuba. Big up the Cubans, and that came out. I saw some of the Cubans there ringside, and what is actually surprising is that Cubans actually rolled out so many fighters at the Olympics. They rolled out so many fighters, but I don't think they go pro. But hopefully we want to see more Cubans, because these guys are really no joke at all. So hats off to Yordenis Ugas. Big victory over Manny Pacquiao. Hopefully, I don't know where Manny Pacquiao goes from here. Is he still going to fight Errol Spence? Is he going to rematch Yordenis Ugas? Have to wait and see. Do you guys want to see Yordenis Ugas fight Errol Spence? I think that would be a very good fight. Very, 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 very good fight. Obviously, a lot of people would favor Errol Spence in that fight. I would lean to Errol Spence as well. it depends. I also need to see how Errol Spence looks when he comes back from his injury, but it'll be interesting, man. There's a lot of fights out there. We've still got Virgil Ortiz, in the corner now. He beat Kavalauskas. We've got Virgil Ortiz now coming through. We've still got Terence Crawford, maybe fighting Sean Porter. Errol Spence, obviously, he was supposed to fought Manny Pacquiao. So there's some very good lineup of fights set as well. So let's see what happens, man. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Yordenis Ugas unanimous decision victory over Manny Pacquiao, and moving forward, let's see what happens in the welterweight division. Drop your comments again. Hit me up on Twitter at KO Boxing Vibe 1, Instagram official KO Boxing Vibe. Like, subscribe, share the video, spray all the good stuff across the channel. Cool.